Hello, everyone. Welcome to day one of the 3-day Elevate Your Business Visibility Challenge. And as we wait for people to come on, I just want to say from my heart, thank you for coming on, for all of the messages that I've gotten from so many of you. I'm so excited that you're here with me. Whenever you come on, let me know that you're here. Comment below. The more that you engage, the more that you have a chance to win those prizes. And any questions that you have. Hello, Miss Rachel. Yes. Hello, Angela. Hi, I'm so excited to see so many of you jumping on with me here. Angela. Or I see you here. Tell me where you're coming from. I know Janelle, hello. What time is it there in Australia? I'm curious. There's Melissa, awesome. I love seeing so many people on and hopping on early too. I love it. That's great. So let me know where you're from. What Bethlehem, PA. Yeah, Angela Orr is in Maine. We got Rachel here in Pittsburgh. Oh, Angela, thank you so much. It's 9 a.m. Thursday. Wow. Thank you so much. That's really sweet. Utah. Yeah, Victoria. I don't think I knew that, Victoria. So nice to see you. Mariam. Hello, Mariam. We have some West Coast people. Hey, Tiff. Tiff from Florida. Yes, I love it. Oh, I'm so happy to see all of you here with me tonight. We're going to be diving into some practical things that actually aren't in your handout, in your PDF. So I have some surprises for you too. As you know, I always have surprises and love to give tons of value. So let's just start off. This is what came to my intuition as I came on here. Let's just do some quick grounding and centering together. So just putting your hands over your heart, closing your eyes, and just allowing yourself to be here now with your heart, with your dream. And so before we dive into all of this magic and all the goodness and trainings and all that, let's just really connect in, ground in with our heart, and just quiet your mind. Just observing if there's any resistance, anything pulling your attention away, just letting that go and being here now. Knowing that energetically you were drawn here for a reason, to elevate, to own your brilliance, and to make 2022 the year that you really unlock and unblock and connect back to that essence of you that you know is there deep, deep down and that you want to show to the world. So just taking a few deep breaths with me, inhaling through your nose and exhaling out any stress, any tension, distractions, fear, stress, whatever you're ready to let go of right now, just letting that go. Breathing in light, and exhaling anything that you're ready to let go of right here and now with your awareness, with your intention. And then just gently coming back to the room and opening your eyes. And I'm so excited to see everybody here. We have Miriam, Jenna. I see Jenna, Deanne, Sarah. Awesome. Let us know where you're tuning in from. And I'm just going to go over a couple of things so that you know kind of, the structure of how these 3 days are going to go. Hello, Millie. How are you? Okay, so what we're going to be doing over the next 3 days is I'm going to be helping you to elevate your business. So what does that mean? I work with the inner shifts and the outer strategy to help you to accelerate the path to creating a profitable healing business. Oh, Buffalo. Okay, Buffalo, New York. Cool. And so I'm going to take you through some practical things that you can implement right away in your business, and also doing the inner work that I'm going to be talking about. And if you've already watched some of the videos that I've put out, I had emailed everybody. You should be getting emails regularly for the next few days. Make sure that you're watching that. I know that you're going to get so much value from those videos and from the live Facebook training. So the more that you show up and play full out, the more you're going to get, literally, because I'm going to be giving out 3 prizes. So I have notes over here, so don't mind me if I'm glancing over here from time to time. So the format of what I'm going to be doing for the next 3 days is I'm going to be going live for about 45 minutes and really just delivering and giving you so much value around the practical needle movers that are going to help you to call in clients right now within, if you follow the path and do everything I'm telling you to do, listening to that money vortex, meditation, tracking your money, you're going to start seeing blessings pour into your life. I promise you that. So I'm going to be showing up live for the next 3 days for 45 minutes, 6 o'clock. There are going to be replays available. I'm going to be keeping this group open until the 23rd. So you'll have some time to, really absorb the content, engage with this amazing group. And again, I'm going to be giving away those 3 prizes. So the 3 prizes are most engaged in the group. So that counts for everything. If you're showing up live on the Facebook Lives, if you're commenting, I'm putting a lot of posts out there. Whoever's most engaged, Rachel and I are going to decide at the end of the challenge. That person will get $200. PayPal will send it to you, PayPal, Venmo, however you want to be paid. The second prize is going to be the most visible. So I'm going to be stretching you. I'm going to be challenging you because I know that pharmacists this is a group of pharmacists, by the way. And I've decided, I was working with a lot of empaths before. I've decided to really narrow down to pharmacists because we have specific blocks: perfectionism, fear of being seen, imposter syndrome, that we're wired a certain way. And I know that I can really help pharmacists specifically. And so you're all pharmacists in here, so you're in good company. You're with people who are rebels, who are, wanting to build profitable healing businesses. And most of you are wanting to get out of traditional, retail pharmacy or whatever pharmacy job you might be in right now. So Dr. Christina is live. Awesome. Thank you, Rachel. Yes. So, okay, so the most visible. So we're going to have a prize for that. $200. I'm going to be giving you some, things that you can do to really show up in your brilliance over the next 3 days. And then the third is most completed assignments. So I'm going to be giving you action steps after every call, and that's going to show up in the Facebook group. So don't feel like you have to rush to write it down because everything is pre-programmed. I'm a Virgo ascendant, so I'm very organized. Everything's going to be there for you in the Facebook group. Don't worry about writing everything down. And so my goal is that by the end of this 3-day challenge, that you feel really excited and empowered that you can make 2022 a year where you shine your light. And that is something that I find, a lot of pharmacists struggle with, right? Because we've had certain experiences from past, whether it's upbringing, relationships, jobs, where we were told to just put your head down and, don't ask too many questions and don't shine your light too much because your ideas are going to get shot down, or no one really is going to take what you say seriously. Like, I know that for me, that's how it always came off, like, oh, how about this idea in retail pharmacy? And oftentimes my ideas got shut down. And so entrepreneurship, I'm like, I can do this, I can do that. So yes, Nina, hello. I see Nina joining. So that is my goal for you, is that you have a tangible understanding and some of those really simple tools that you can use right away in your business. So, I know that I had introduced myself a little bit in the first video that I had sent and put in the Facebook group the other day, but I just want to give you a quick rundown, Cliff's Notes version of why I do this work and how I moved past a lot of my blocks. And let me just say, I am not perfect whatsoever. I had a rosacea breakout today and I was like, oh, perfect. This is going to work on my perfectionism and like wanting to have my face. I've had a long struggle with rosacea over the past couple of years. I'm like, cool, this is my block. I'm going to dance with it. Right. And so we have these different blocks that show up in different areas of our lives, but it doesn't need to hold you down or keep you small just because of past experiences or how you were programmed or what your parents taught you. And so we're going to be diving into some of those things that aren't really talked about that are going to help you shift to be able to shine a little bit more brightly. And just full transparency, I am going to be sharing an opportunity for you to join a program that I've been really so excited about. I've been working on it for the past 6 months to help you to own your brilliance, to release these blocks and really dive deep. The work that I do in my transformation business coaching is really deep work. It's not just surface level, like, oh, say affirmations and this and that. It's for women who are ready. You're ready to unlock something in you to accelerate this path to creating a profitable healing business. So I'm going to be sharing about that more tomorrow, but just wanted to let you know about that. So just a little bit about my story. I grew up in a really, there's no other way to say it, an abusive household. My dad was a narcissist. My mom's codependent. I had a lot of trauma, a lot of chaos, a lot of stress in my energy. And I'm an empath, so you can imagine how that affected me. And I was always very sensitive, had very low self-esteem, had a lot of stomach issues. I'm clairsentient. And so I felt everything, right? But I didn't know how to process those emotions, how to protect my boundaries, anything like that. So I grew up with all of this patterning around perfectionism, and I got love from dad because my dad was a pharmacist. I got love by achieving. So if you can relate to that, I want to see some love. I want to see some hearts. You get validation or self-love or love or worthiness through achieving, through getting to specific goals that, you've always been the good girl, right? That was me. I was totally the good girl. Yes. I want that control. Oh, yeah. I get it. So, as I was growing up, I was going through eating disorders, and, when I went to college, so I was anorexic, then I became, on the other way and went through a lot of, binge eating disorder. And I realized in my last year of pharmacy school that I was like, I don't want to be a pharmacist. I followed in my dad's footsteps. I went, the whole way through, and God spoke to me for the first time because I really felt it in my heart. And I had never really connected with God before. My family was, we grew up Catholic, but in that moment, I remember being in my 5th year of pharmacy school, and God was like, you don't belong here. You need to go expand and spread your wings and go do something where I can use you in a bigger way. And so I followed that. And, if you watched my video, you know that my parents were not happy about it. And so that was a negative consequence. We're going to be talking about negative consequences tomorrow of stepping out, of, shining your light, of speaking up, of all of these things that we've been conditioned to sit still and look pretty. I think of Catherine with that song we played during the summit. That was so much fun. I had such a great time on the summit. And so thinking about these patterns that we have, and if you feel like, yeah, I love that, Nina, yeah, jump right in. And let me know, what are some of your blocks? Because if we have some time at the end, I'm going to do some tapping with you guys. So I had to be perfect was always compared to someone else more perfect, right? And so that perfectionism, it just gets woven and woven and woven. And for me, I was, top 10. I was number 9 out of 350 kids in my school. I worked hard. I made sure I was thin and was anorexic. I went, to the extreme, in high school. And then in college, I got a residency, and it was just go, 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 push, push, push. So much in that masculine energy that I never even bothered to look at my feminine desires. I never tuned into myself to see, well, what is it I actually want, rather than what someone else expects of me. So if you can resonate with that, if you feel like dad or mom or whoever it was had expectations of you, I want you to write it down because you're not alone. And so, as I was going through that and I got my residency finally, I got kicked out of my house. I was fired from my job. There was a lot of trauma. I had tons of PTSD. If you saw the picture of my car, I was homeless. I had nowhere to live. And so I really feel for people who, you're trying to build a business, and then these traumas come back, and it's a trauma response because you're used to, I have to achieve, I have to be really, achieving a 10K months in my business, 20K months. And then you just keep going when you don't really have to do that. There is an easier way, a more feminine, heart-centered way. And so that's what I'm inviting you into in this container, in all of my programs, in my retreats. When you come into my space, I want you to know that I see you as a soul. You are so much more than a pharmacist or the labels that we get put on, that get put onto us, right? You are a soul that God wants to channel through. You have gifts that you can use in the world. And so as I've gone through my journey, that was back in 2012 when I got kicked out of my house. I've gone through, integrative nutrition. I've done different things like Young Living essential oils. I've made so many mistakes. And so I want to help pharmacists to sidestep that so that you don't have to do all the mistakes that I did, and really shine using your gifts. And so that's what this is that's what this 3-day visibility challenge is really about, right? It's showing up in your brilliance. And there's so many comments. Wow, I can't even keep up with all fear of being seen, so many expectations. Yes. It's not a show. Yeah, Melissa, I'm with you. All this energy. I'm going to come back to some of these comments. And if I don't respond to your comment, know that I am going to come back after the Facebook Live, so that I am seeing you, I'm acknowledging you, and so thank you so much. Classic Melissa, that's so funny. I love it. Okay, so fast forward to where I was in my business, and I share all this because I want you to see kind of the trajectory of how you can accelerate your path. So I started my business in 2012. I was doing integrative nutrition, all of that, and I was a health coach. And my dad was like, "Oh, you're stupid. Why are you doing this? You're never going to make any money. Who's going to pay you $100 for a diabetes coaching session?" I got it all. So trust me, I've heard it all, and I've experienced, so many just ups and downs. So I'll openly talk about that, by the way. So I never really made more than $10,000 or $15,000 a year in my business up until about 2019. So I was busy building my landing pages. I was doing my newsletter, but I didn't know how to give a call to action, or I didn't know, there was a lot of knowledge gaps. I guess that's the easiest way to say it, because we don't learn this in pharmacy school, right? So I was over there perfecting my website and making sure that my business cards and brochures looked nice, right? Creating an opt-in and having a lead page, but then not knowing what to do with it after that. So I spent a lot of time kind of just dabbling and building my own website and doing all the things. If you can relate to that, let me know in the comments here. I did a lot of personal development work. I went through Tony Robbins. I did so many courses through him. I've probably spent over the last 10 years $300,000 on myself, but you are your best investment, and you're going to have the tools that you're learning now and that you learn from, different people that you come across in your life. That is invaluable. So I want you to know you're in the right place and to just really tune into your heart. That's the best advice that I can give you as we go through this. Have an open heart. I'm going to be giving you some different suggestions here that you can try on in your business. We need to learn to get out. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Oh, hi, Marina. I see Marina. Yes. Hi, Marina. My own healing journey. Yeah, absolutely. I get you, sister. So, I was doing all these things and spending money and going here and going there. I actually went to Bali, side note, I went to Bali and wrote my first book in 2 weeks, and that was amazing. $15,000, $20,000 later. Went and got speaking trained and so many different things. And it was amazing, So I want you to know, no matter what you're investing in or what you do along your path, that you're always going to have those experiences. So it's never a waste, right? Really feel into that. Everything is teaching you something. It's allowing you to grow as a soul and as a human being. So just as a side note there. So the breaking point for me was in 2019 when I was working in retail pharmacy. I had moved to Pennsylvania in 2016, got engaged to another pharmacist, didn't work out. And again, I was kind of on my own. Had to go back to pharmacy, unfortunately. And I realized at that moment, I'm playing small. I have never invested in a coach. I've never really gone for it. And so that was my breaking point, because I was in the retail pharmacy space, and I was exhausted, working 12-hour shifts back to back. It was a very dramatic work environment that I was like, as an empath, I can't be around this anymore. And so I just quit. I was like, the one night I was like, deuces. I walked out. And if anybody's ever walked out of a job and just did that. It was amazing and it was so freeing. And I went for it. I invested $20,000 in a business coach, recouped that very quickly because I'm quick. I'm like, all right, let's do this. I'm going all in. But then I hit a roadblock. And the things that coach was teaching me, it was a lot of strategy, right? A little bit of mindset, like surface level mindset, wasn't really getting me anywhere. I hit a plateau. And I followed my intuition. I found this coach who actually, she's not even a coach anymore, but she was a transformation coach. And I went to one of her retreats. And I remember standing up. It was like we were in a mansion and it was 20 people in the room. And she had us come up and she was like, all right, well, what do you not want us to know about you? And I was like, I started crying and I'm like bubbling up, I can't even talk. And I'm like, I feel unworthy. And like people, like imposter syndrome, like all my stuff started to unravel. But I didn't know until that moment that was what was really holding me back. It wasn't the strategy. It wasn't that I wasn't a good coach. It was all of these inner blocks that we have that prevent us from truly embodying the light that God wants us to be, to channel his love into the world. That is what a business is, in my opinion. God is my CEO. I'll say that again. If somebody wants to put a hashtag down there in the chat, because when we have these blocks, and I'm going to talk about blocks, it's all of this, it's preventing us from touching God's love. And I know Nina, this is something that Nina wants to do too, and in her business is bringing that light and channeling God's love and light into the world and impacting patients and being seen, allowing yourself to be seen and not giving a shit who says what, because you're so grounded in who you are in God's image. And I don't mean for this to be, religious or, take what you want to from it, higher power, spiritual. I believe, and how I've worked in my business is that I don't do it alone. If I try to control, guess what happens? I veer off course. When I align my will with the divine will, with my feminine heart, and lean on God, that's when things work for me. And so we're not going to go into that right now, but just saying, that was my journey. This is my specific journey. And I found that when you surrender and you let go to allow your beautiful feminine essence to shine, instead of pushing and striving and needing to prove that you're worthy, then it all works out. And that's honestly one of the big shifts that took me from making $10,000 a year to over $250,000, and I've incrementally gone up. I don't want you to be like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about, raw and real, incremental upgrades, some things that you can do to shift. If maybe you're like at zero and you've never made anything, it's okay. We all started somewhere. I started somewhere too. And you should have seen some of my earliest YouTube videos. They were horrible. I'll just say that. So anyway, I had a lot of these blocks and I didn't know how to get past it. So I actually went, I'm going to talk about this more so tomorrow with the incremental upgrades, but I went and, did a deep dive into myself and I realized, I'm like, wow, this is the piece that needs to click in for people to really explode your income and impact, because we're in a box. The way we get programmed, the way that we're told, oh no, you have to sit still and, be a good girl and, don't rock the boat too much because then you're a bitch or then you're not nice. And all of these BS stories that can prevent you from actually taking action on something. Like as an example, I just had this impulse on my heart. I'm like, I want to dance. I want to do a video, right? How many of you would be cool with, just showing up and doing a video, right? Think about that. Whatever comes up with that, when you think about that, you're like, oh no, I can't. Those are the blocks that I'm talking about. So just some examples, control is definitely one. As pharmacists, we love to have control, perfectionism, what else? Fear of being seen, imposter syndrome, a lot of the things that we've already talked about. And so the goal is not to totally just be like, oh, well, I don't want this block, right? It's learning to dance with that and to reveal those patterns and to know how to clear them. And so, if you were on the summit, you saw one of one of the tools to clear is tapping. Tapping is very easy to do. You know, I work with tapping all the time, hypnosis. There's so many things that you can do, and, you know, we'll go over some of those too along the way. So get your pen and paper out, because we're going to do some math together. So I want you to tangibly see right now how you can scale your business to be able to transition out of pharmacy. And I'm just curious too, who here wants to transition out of pharmacy, and by when? As I take a little sip of water. So get your pen and paper out. And I want you to think about your current audience right now. So TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, newsletter, whatever you have right now, I want you to take a minute and just add up all of the people that you have. So if you have like 1,700 people on your newsletter list, or if you have, you know, maybe a Facebook group and then a Facebook, you know, regular, you know, personal page, you can count that too. Because what we're going to do is we're going to do some math to see how many clients from that audience, and typically the industry standard is about 3%. 3% of the people from your audience will buy from you. So we're going to do some math. And as you're doing that and figuring that out for yourself, I want to, there's so many comments here that I'm going to have to go back through. I love it. God is my CEO. Yes, I love it. Okay, so statistics show 3% of your audience will buy, theoretically, right? And of course, there's the know, like, and trust factor and building rapport with people and connecting with them. There's all different strategies that you can do to connect with your soulmate client. So just for argument's sake, say that you have 1,000 people in your audience. So 3% of that is 30. So say that 30 people in 2022 buy your 5K offer. How would that feel, right? $150,000. Boom. Pharmacy salary replaced. There you go. That were added forever. Yeah. Just don't overthink it. Just add whoever you have in your audience. So I want to break this down for you. So replacing your income for most pharmacists is $100,000 over 12 months. We're not going to get caught up with time. You know, we're really being flexible with, you know, maybe it would be February to February or June to June of next year, or whatever it is. Just be open to when this could happen for you. Obviously, you have to take concrete action to get to that goal. But right now, we're just playing in the energy of it. And we're going to have fun with it, right? 4,000 people. Cool. So do the 3% of that. And then I want to ask you, what feels good for you? You know, do you have an offer right now? Do you have a signature offer that really communicates your brilliance and that you're posting about consistently? So if I were to poll your audience and say, hey, Janelle, so do 4,000 times 0.03. So you're taking 3% of that number. Theoretically, that's the number of people that are going to buy your offer. But again, you need to be posting consistently about it. Then the inner shifts come in, right? The self-sabotage, procrastination, all that stuff. So again, we're doing the inner and outer. We're always going to talk about both, because it's not just strategy and it's not just the inner shifts that we need to do. We need a balance of both. And so, you know, to create the $100,000 a month, or a month, imagine that, $100,000 a month, $100,000 over 12 months, you could do, you know, and I just wrote an email about this recently too, $5,000 offer, you would need 20 clients. Or $2,000 offer, you would need 50 clients. So right out, we're going to go into a little bit about, you know, creating a signature offer and what that can look like for you. Oh my God, I can't believe it's 6:30 already. I guess I love to talk. Okay, my broadcast got paused. Okay, so think about the math, write the math in here, 100K a month. Yeah, we'd all be good with that. You agree, Nina? Yeah. So in order to have these people come in, you need a signature offer. You need something that is going to communicate your brilliance, that you can put out into the world to have people, you're going to be activating your audience, right? You don't go out there and, like, you know, do all these crazy strategies. Like, I've seen people are like, oh yeah, I just go on so-and-so's post and then I add all of their friends. No, you don't need to do all that craziness. It's allowed to be easy, and it's your time to shine. That's what we're going with, right? So try this on. You want people being magnetized to you, not chasing other people, right? And so you can create an offer, a really beautiful offer that takes your client from point A to point B. Point A is where they're at right now. So they're feeling some kind of pain point, whatever that is, right? Really getting clear on who that person is. So that would be your first step, getting super crystal clear on who that person is, where they hang out, what are their habits. And this is something that you would do, you can go ahead and do this kind of as a bonus assignment, getting clear on who is your yes client. What are the things that keep them up at night? What are the things that they wake up with anxiety, within the morning that they're immediately thinking about? That automatic negative thought that's like, oh, I have to deal with this again today. Get into that. Come back to the video and you can even pause me at that time and just write that out. That's their point A. Now, point B is where they want to be, right? They want more peace in their life. They want healthier relationships. What would that look like practically? So not being vague and being like, they want more energy, right? It's like, okay, well, how would their reality be different after you take them through this transformation? Because that's what you're doing. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's a business transformation, if it's, functional medicine, whatever it is, you're taking them from point A to point B. So taking time on your own and writing out what is their point A, what is their point B, and your signature offer is the bridge. And so when you learn, and we're going to go into this in day 3, I'm going to teach you how to magnetically message to your audience. I'm going to share with you a specific framework that you can play with and use. And that's actually going to be one of the homework assignments from day 3, is to create this magnetic messaging and actually put it out onto your platform. So essentially the structure that we're doing here is you have to get clear first, right? In order to connect the dots for people to come into your world, they need to get to know, like, and trust you first. Like, that's why I typically have my clients creating a Facebook group or a container or a newsletter or Instagram or whatever it is, so that people get to know you, right? A lot of you probably know, because I share so openly and I don't really hold back anything. You know about my story with my dad, and you know about me getting kicked out and the different things that go on. My rosacea, about my rosacea. So, you're leaning into that person, right? You leaned in to come to this 3-day challenge. So that's what you're doing with people. You're messaging to them. You're connecting with their hearts. It's not just this surface level, like, oh, here's the strategy, and being all in the mind and like, well, how do I write the magnetic messaging and da-da-da-da. It's connecting with your heart, because when you connect and tune in to who you're serving, to who you are, and how your brilliance is communicated out into your audience, it's like, boom, those people drop in. And so you have to get clear. Clarity is the first step. Magnetic messaging, which I'm going to teach you on day 3, and activating those people. Because ultimately what you want is for them to go, oh my God, that's me. I need her now, not 6 months from now. I need you right now, right? We don't want to have to, then you get on the phone with someone. Oh yeah, that sounds good. But no, I'm not ready yet. Or all of these things that come up, and that's okay to have objections. But when you speak to someone and they really feel like this person is who I want to hire to solve my problem, then that's where the game changes, right? So by the time they get on the call with you to, book in or to buy your product or whatever your product or service is, there's that rapport built. There is that trust. And when you speak directly in your messaging to that point, by the time you connect with them on a sales call, on an enrollment call, discovery, whatever you specifically call it in your business, it becomes easy. And so that's the simple strategy. And the brain's like, no, it has to be more complicated. It's like, no, it really doesn't. So, if it's so easy, why does it seem so difficult, right? So right now you have a current reality and you have a desired reality, and all of this stuff that we're talking about, the blocks, the different things, like maybe you freeze up and you procrastinate whenever it comes to take action on something. That is a response from your nervous system that is like, oh no, that's not safe. The mind, the body wants to keep us safe at all costs. And so we look to money to keep us secure. We look to relationships to keep us secure. And that's why doing this inner work, I want you, for all of my clients, for all of you, I want you to feel grounded in yourself and with whatever higher power you believe, because when you are truly anchored into that embodiment, it doesn't matter what happens out here. You're serving from your heart space. And when you serve from love, you can't help but draw people in who want to be around your energy. And so again, it's not just about the strategy. It's so much about the energy that you're bringing. And so, the Elevate Entrepreneur Academy, actually, like, we're going to be doing a deep dive into this and uncovering a lot of these subconscious things, these blocks that are holding you back from reaching higher levels of income and impact. So that's just an aside, but I actually wanted to bring up my husband because this was like the perfect thing. I had to help him the other day. Speaking of blocks, because he just published a book and he's like, oh, I want to go, sell my book. I said, all right, we'll go out to restaurants and have them buy your book. And he's like, I'm reading over here, like in my notes, he goes, I don't want to feel like a snake oil salesman. I don't want to pitch someone. Oh, people can't afford it. People don't want to part with their money, blah, 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 blah. Like, he has all these stories. And I'm like, you haven't even walked in the door yet, and you have all these stories. So I actually did some rapid transformation work with him. And now, like, a couple days later, he comes to me and he's smiling. He's like, oh, this happened. This. I'm like, yeah, because you got out of your own way. A lot of like control. Him and I are like the same person, like control patterns, unworthiness, all that stuff. So you don't have to be perfect to be successful. And I want you to know, like, I experience blocks too. I just know how to dance with them and to quickly shift out of it while feeling the feelings, right? You can't just be like, oh, I want to just spiritually bypass this and not feel it. You have to be able to feel the feelings of, whatever comes up for you, because it's probably a response from something from the past. Have you got that's what I need to do. Oh, thank you, Sarah. That's really sweet. I know you were binge watching my YouTube channel. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example of a block. So you have a belief. This is around like kind of working hard and worthiness. I feel like a lot of people are going to be able to relate to this. So you might have a belief that you have to work really hard to get anywhere in your life. If you don't work hard, if you didn't work hard, you were unworthy. This is my story pretty much. And that you had to prove yourself through achieving. That you were told to be quiet, stay small, be perfect, look pretty, wear nice clothes, all that stuff, and not cause too much of a rift. And it was how you got love. And you've woven it over and over and over and over again. So you have these programs in the background, and your subconscious mind runs 95% of everything you do. And so if we're just working off the 5% of the conscious mind, we're like, why am I not getting to this goal? I don't understand. And then you beat yourself up and you're like, well, I just need to work harder and right? And then we get even more into the masculine. Doesn't have to be that hard. So how does this show up? Say that this block doesn't get cleared, it doesn't get addressed. Some of the ways that your body wants to compensate, and this is what was happening with me when I had my eating disorders and all of that. My body was in such, trauma response that your body is looking for safety. It's looking for comfort. And so what do? You go to different behaviors. It could be alcohol, eating, whatever it is, but it also might be over-giving and over-delivering to prove you're good enough. Not having boundaries with clients so that you're always available because you don't want them to think that you're, mean, or you don't really challenge your clients because you don't want them to think you're a bitch. It could result in posting safe content because you don't want to get in trouble. These are all of the unconscious things that we're going to be really just skimming the surface of over the next couple of days. But this is how blocks, like these inner subconscious blocks, show up practically in your business. again, you might be like, oh, well, that launch didn't happen, or you did all this work and you worked really hard and you gave so much and then nothing happened. So then you beat yourself up and you're like, I'll work harder next time. And that's how we dig a hole even deeper. So I want to share a story with you from actually somebody who took my Elevate membership. And I want to clearly distinguish how the block that she had was released and how it translated into a practical, tangible result. So this person was struggling with, being seen and had some blocks around unworthiness and feeling safe to shine in her true essence. And she joined my Elevate membership. She actually wound up becoming a one-on-one client with me. And within 1 month of joining Elevate, she called in a new client, $2,500 paid in full. And it was because of one training, the wealth and subconscious programming training. So it's kind of like an avalanche effect, right? You don't really know what's going to move the needle for you. Like, we have so many different strategies that, if you're just coming into a container and she listened to that program, that was the subconscious programming. That was the needle mover for her. That's what she needed to call in that new client. And so, I forget how much it was. It was like $277 for that Elevate membership. And she more than multiplied that several times over. So when you do this inner work, when you really commit to it, it does pay off in dividends. And again, this is how I've gone from, and it was incremental, right? 2017 or 2016, I was like 10,000, then it went up to like 50, then 80, or, whatever it was after that. I don't even remember because it was a while ago, but eventually, you incrementally go up, and that's how you begin to incrementally upgrade your business. And so I want to hear from you here. I feel like I want to go back here. How many people in your audience might respond? Just answer this. Okay. Yeah, I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything. Okay. So what I want you to think about right now is your subconscious mind is responding based upon your beliefs. Your environment is responding back to you based upon your beliefs. And your reticular activating system is a network of neurons in your brainstem that loves to look for evidence. And so what I've learned is that you need to tune out from what's being created to tune in to your desire. So instead of, seeing in your, in your environment, oh, look, see, people don't buy or this or that, I want you to just close that out for now and just tune into your feminine desire. Because your reticular activating system loves to look for evidence, and therefore you can see it in the challenge that I gave you, right? With the money tracking. You had your subconscious mind say, hey, where is there money in my environment? People found gift cards, they got a new client, they got this, they got that. That's an example of, activating your reticular activating system through hypnosis. So what I want you to type in the comments here is this, and I want this to be a mantra for you from now on. So what I believe is what I will receive. So I want you to type that in the comments. Anchor that in. And we don't have enough time to go into anchors, but that was in the first video. So if you didn't watch that, or maybe it's the second video, one of the two videos, there is a whole, I teach about anchors in there. And so tomorrow, what we're going to be diving into is I'm going to take you through my 3-step block clearing exercise, and we're going to be uncovering even more negative consequences of shining. So what is actually preventing you from shining, showing up, putting your content out there? What I believe is what I will receive. Yes. I love it. So create anchors, and I would love to see pictures too. Like if you have pictures or a vision board. I know, Melissa, you made a vision board. Post them in the group. Again, this is all going to count towards your engagement and the most completed homework assignment. So feel free to do that. Yes, anchor that in. Really believe that. What I believe is what I will receive, Sarah. I love it. Okay, so your action steps. And before I go into the action steps, so if you're wanting... okay, So if you already know, you're like, I know how to get to the next level in my business, then like this challenge isn't for you. So, but knowing you, if you're on the challenge and you really do want to create your profitable healing business, then I invite you to the Elevate Entrepreneur Academy. So I'm going to be announcing that tomorrow. But if you're wanting one of the first invitations to that, again, I'm going to be explaining more in detail about what that is. But if you want one of the first invitations, I'm going to be available for like the next 15 minutes. And then we have our Release and Rise call. But direct message me. If I don't answer, it's because I'm on my Release and Rise call. But this is for women who want to own their brilliance. You know that you have these blocks that are ready to be released, and you want to lean on a community of support with women like this, women who get it, who are going to lift you up and help you to get to that next level in your business. So if you're wanting that, if you're wanting one of the first invitations, message me after and I will send that over to you. And okay, so action steps. So post in the group who you are serving, where they hang out. So again, this is going to be posted automatically in the group if it wasn't already. Who you're serving, where they hang out, what their pain points are, the life-changing results that they're looking for. And then number 2, this is counting towards the visibility challenge. So share a selfie on your timeline on Facebook or Instagram, sharing what you're committed to in 2022. What are you committed to in your business? And then you're going to tag me with hashtag the pharmacist coach, hashtag visibility 3-day challenge. And again, all of this is going to, don't like scribble down and write all this stuff down. It'll be available for you, if not right after. I can't remember if I, put that up at 6:45 or 7, but you will see that assignment. Go ahead, put that assignment, right on that post. And get excited because this is just the beginning. I am going to go back through tonight into all of these comments. I love it. God is my CEO. Yes, yes, yes. Awesome. Okay, well, keep me posted. I'm going to be checking out all of your posts in the Facebook group. Thank you so much for being here with me tonight. And I will see you tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Have a good night, guys.